How many atomic bombs does Stalin possess?
At least 4 2-kiloton warheads are in production. But there is much even I do not know. Much we are not told.
Stalin's speech is coming on.
That woman, Stalin's paramour, correct?
I can think of better word to describe her. Yet, on Pomazhny, he is mad. How can he do this?
Explain, Kosygin, what are you talking about?
Stalin! He announced he is telling everyone he's threatening to destroy the world. His missiles are ready, he's preparing to launch.
Is this possible?
A week ago, no. But now, who knows? This does not sound like a bluff. Even now, a great purge tears through the Kremlin. Your allied force becomes too powerful. In his fury, Stalin kills his own people. More death, more dishonor.
The Russians are manufacturing missiles at this site?
His factory's main site. We call it Temные Vasodniki, the Dark Horsemen. Commander, you must destroy it. Everything. Scorched earth.
Establish a base first, then move in on the command center. Get a spy inside, and neutralize launch capabilities. Once the missiles are neutralized, destroy the facility. Everything. Scorched earth.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Nie witam was serdecznie w ostatnim odcinku kampanii aliantów. Red Alert. Jak sami widzieliście, musimy uratować świat przed atomową apokalipsą. Więc do dzieła.
Construction complete. New construction options. Building.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Construction complete.
Reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
New construction options. Building. Training. Unit ready.
Awaiting orders.
Unit
Acknowledged.
ready. Training.
Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Reporting.
Training.
Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Construction complete.
Vehicle reporting.
New construction options. Building.
Awaiting orders. At once. Reporting. Agreed.
Training. Unit ready. Unit ready. Training.
Reporting. Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Training. Unit ready.
Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative.
Construction complete.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Silos
Acknowledged.
needed.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
New construction options. Silos needed. Building.
Yes, sir.
Construction
Affirmative.
complete.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 Affirmative.
Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Construction
Affirmative.
complete.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit
Acknowledged.
ready.
Acknowledged.
Building. New construction options. Building.
Yes,
Unit
sir.
ready.
Awaiting Awaiting order. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready. Building. Construction complete.
Acknowledged.
Trochę czerwoni nam się tutaj rozpanuszyli.
Unit ready. Building.
Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged.
Our base is under attack.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Affirmative.
Unit lost. New construction options.
To było do przewidzenia. Dobra, trzeba troszkę bazę umocnić. Może jeszcze lotnicze działa.
Building. On hold. Cancel. Building.
Waiting orders.
Construction complete.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building. Training. Construction complete. Unit ready. Building. Training. Our base is under attack. Low power. Building. Insufficient
Waiting
funds.
No właśnie.
On hold. Cancel. Building. Unit ready. Training. Construction complete.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Building.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Reporting. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Ready and waiting. Yes, sir.
Construction complete.
On my way.
Our base is under attack.
Ready and waiting. Yes, sir. At once.
Cannot deploy here. Building. Unit lost.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Construction complete.
Vehicle
Insufficient
reporting.
funds.
Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Repairing. Building. Insufficient funds.
Tutaj mamy jakąś bazę lotniczą.
Repairing.
No i tutaj gdzieś pewnie jest nasz cel.
Unit repaired.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged.
Już tam się kryje.
Reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Reporting. 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 Acknowledged. Reporting.
Repairing. Building. Insufficient funds.
Awaiting orders.
repairing.
Dobra, jedziemy obadać teren. Może jakąś
Insufficient funds.
rozpierduchę małą zrobimy.
Affirmative. 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 Acknowledge. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Repairing.
Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Construction complete.
Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledge.
Insufficient funds.
Affirmative.
Unit prepared.
Affirmative. Acknowledge. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Awaiting orders. Vehicle reporting. Vehicle report. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Vehicle report. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Base is
Affirmative.
under attack.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Silence
Acknowledged.
needed.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Napalm launch
Acknowledged.
detected.
Acknowledged.
Silence needed.
Commander, as you are well aware, Stalin has launched 4 atomic missiles. The only way to stop them now is to get into the command center. Each missile is controlled by a launch terminal. Deactivate all the launch terminals and stop those missiles.
Zdobądź centrum dowodzenia.
Training.
Yes, sir.
Unit lost. Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Training.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Training.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Training.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Wolno rozwalić tę Teslę, rozwalić miotacz.
Training.
Sprawić już nie postawi raczej.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Training.
Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Unit ready. Training.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Building. On hold. Cancel.
Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Reporting.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit
Acknowledged.
lost.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Reporting. Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building. Insufficient funds. Unit lost. Unit lost. Building. Unit lost. On hold. Building. On hold. Cancel. Unit ready.
By tutaj najpierw rozwalić. Może te śmigłowce.
Awaiting orders. Yes, sir? Affirmative. Awaiting orders.
Building. Silos needed. On hold.
Reporting.
Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes,
Unit
sir?
lost. Unit ready. Building. Silos needed.
Za dużo tu ochrony nie ma, więc może się
Unit
udać w
ready.
miarę szybko.
Building.
Yes, sir?
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Unit ready. Building.
Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit
Acknowledged.
ready. Building.
Acknowledged.
Insufficient funds.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready. Building.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Wyjdziemy może tak sobie.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready. Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
W zasadzie to chyba moglibyśmy zdobyć już tą bazę.
Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Our base is under attack.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Waiting orders. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Silos needed.
Affirmative. 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 Yes, sir.
Silos needed.
Commander. On my way. Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. 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 Acknowledged.
Construction complete. Building. Construction complete.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Lądu mają.
Acknowledge. 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 Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. 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 Yes, sir. For king and country, on my way. Commander. For king and country, on my way.
40 minutes
On my
remaining.
way. Yes, sir. Indeed. Indeed. Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Reporting.
Building
Affirmative.
infiltrated.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Low. Mission accomplished.
Yes, sir. Ready and waiting. Agreed. Engineering. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Engineering. Yes, sir. Commander. Indeed. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Engineering. Affirmative. Commander.
Unit
Acknowledged.
lost.
Acknowledged.
Nie, to lepiej tego
At
szpiega
once.
niż...
Agreed. Reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. At once. Yes, sir. Awaiting orders.
W sumie i tak całą
Very
ekipą
well.
musimy iść, bo...
Very well. Very well. Very well. Agreed. Very well. At once. Yes, sir. On my way. On my way. For king and country, indeed. For king and country, on my way. On my way. On my way.
Cię, kurde.
On my
Dobra,
way.
w kupie siła, mamy trochę wojska, to
On
możemy
my way.
strzelać.
Indeed. On my way. For king and country, indeed. On my way. On my way, indeed. For king and country, indeed.
Tylko lekarz oberwał. No
Yes,
trudno.
sir. Yes, sir.
Szpiega
King
mamy
and country,
tutaj.
indeed.
Kurde, tylko...
Indeed. Indeed. For king and country. For king and country. Indeed. Indeed. On my way. On my way. For king and country.
Jak to przejść?
For king and country.
Jak ten miotacz
On
przejść?
my way. For king and country. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Agreed. Yes, sir. For king and country. Indeed. Indeed. Indeed.
Acknowledged. Very well. At once. Affirmative. Affirmative. At once. Agreed. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Acknowledged. At once. Very well. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Ready and waiting. Agreed.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Engineering. Yes, sir.
Awaiting orders.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Acknowledged.
30
Ready and waiting.
minutes remain.
Very well. Yes, sir.
Control center
Yes, sir.
deactivated.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Agreed.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. At once. At once. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Kaboom!
At once. Affirmative.
Kurde, to mnie trochę... Nie wiem, nie widzę tego.
Yes, sir. Agreed.
Medic reporting. Moving out. Affirmative.
Ale zostawimy go chyba na koniec.
Moving out. Medic reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Engineering. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Very well. Affirmative. At once. Very well. Affirmative. At once. Affirmative. At once. Very well.
Unit
Yes, sir.
lost.
Reporting. Agreed.
O lipka.
Agreed. Very well. Agreed. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Engineering. Affirmative.
Reporting. Affirmative. At once. Agreed. Agreed.
Medic reporting. Moving out. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Engineering. Engineering. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Control center deactivated.
Affirmative.
Ready and waiting. Very well. Affirmative. Agreed.
Yes, sir. Indeed. For king and country. On my way.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. At once. Yes, sir. At once.
Yes, sir. On my way. Indeed. For king and country. Indeed. On my way. For king and country. On my way. For king and country. For king and country. On my way.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
Commander. For king and country.
Yes, sir. Agreed. Affirmative. At once.
Yes, sir. Engineering. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Of course. Affirmative. Very well. Very well. Agreed. Affirmative. Very well. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
20 minutes remaining.
Affirmative. At once. Very well. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Of course. Very well. Yes, sir. Of course. Of course. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Moving out. Medic reporting. Moving out. Engineering. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Acknowledged.
Medic reporting. Moving out.
Reporting. Very well. Awaiting orders.
Medic reporting.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Medic reporting. Moving out.
Acknowledged. At once. Very well. Affirmative. At once. Very well. Very well. Affirmative. Very well. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Control center deactivated.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Czyli teraz to zostało. I tu chyba nie ma. Nie ma jak przejść za bardzo.
Affirmative.
Trzeba by było kupą chyba może. Chyba może.
Affirmative.
Nie wiem, zobaczymy, zapiszemy.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Awaiting orders. Very well. Affirmative. Agreed. Affirmative.
Mission saved.
Acknowledged. Reporting. Very well.
Medic reporting. Affirmative. Engineering. Affirmative.
Ready and waiting. Very well.
Yes, sir.
Reporting.
Reporting. Affirmative. Reporting. Awaiting orders. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Of course. Affirmative. Yes, sir. At once. Affirmative. Agreed. Very well. Very well.
Ready and waiting.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Medic reporting. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Agreed. Agreed.
10 minutes remaining.
Affirmative. Agreed. Affirmative. Affirmative. Agreed. Very well. Affirmative. Reporting at once. Affirmative.
Engineering. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Very well.
Engineering. Affirmative.
Ready and waiting. Affirmative. At once.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Engineering. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Chyba.
Affirmative.
Control
Affirmative.
center. Mission accomplished.
Haha. Się udało. No, drodzy Państwo, jednak to nie finał. Jeszcze jedna misja przed nami. Jeszcze jedna albo i dwie nawet. Aż się dziwię. W takim razie ogramy je na następnym odcinku, bo troszkę nam to zajęło. Dziękuję za oglądanie. Zapraszam ponownie. Jeśli się podobało, zostawcie kciuka w górę. Do zobaczenia na następnym odcinku.